Guys, welcome to another MOTOBOB video. Today I'm heading up to Regents Park because there's a group called We Ride London and they're meeting up at the north side of the park today for what I believe is an awareness ride. It's interesting that they're meeting at the top northwesterly part of the outer circle, because up there you've got some embassies and that kind of thing, or ambassadors' houses, and you get quite a lot of armed police, so I'm not sure how well they'll take to a bunch of bikers meeting up right outside, but I'll find out in due course. If you don't know about We Ride London, it's a group, as I mentioned, who campaign for a bunch of stuff in London with regards to motorcycling. So as a quick overview, they talk about lane widths. A lot of money spent on cycling infrastructure, which personally I'm massively behind. Makes the city greener, less congested, but the problem is in places like Vauxhall, Oval, Blackfriars, areas like that, the big cycle superhighways and segregated cycle paths, which are much safer for cyclists, you know, trying to mix that traffic is dangerous. But it does mean that the lanes end up so narrow that it's really hard to filter around there. And that means motorbikes are sat in traffic with their engines idling, which is not good, and also more accelerating, which is one of the big contributors towards pollution. They also campaign for more secure cycle parking and more security for motorbikers with regards to theft and bike jacking and those kinds of things, which I don't think I need to tell you much about. Big problem in London at the moment, so that's a good cause. There's also ULEV, which is an emissions law that's coming in a few years' time, which will mean that bikes manufactured before 2007 will have to pay £12.50 a day to come into London, into the congestion zone, which they're talking about increasing to, you know, the South Circular, I think. Quite a big zone. So a big zone of London will be £12.50 a day for any motorcycle manufactured before 2007, which for some people is just too expensive. A lot of people ride those older bikes because they're cheap and because they won't get nicked. I mean, insurance companies will be having a field day, won't they? Everyone's got to buy new motorbikes, but there's nowhere to lock them up. And yeah, for some people they can't afford the train tickets, commuting in from outside of town, that's super expensive. So a cheap motorbike is a good way to get around, and it's too far to cycle for some people. So like I say, that's going to have a big impact on some people. I think also anyone with a classic bike, the retro scene is thriving at the moment, so it will impact those people as well. They're also campaigning for motorcycles to be able to use any bus lane, so there's only certain bus lanes you can use at the moment. Peace! Now, I found this out the hard way, much to my dismay and financial pain, when I got a bus lane fine earlier, well, it was last year actually. And that's something I've talked about in previous videos as well. Like, it makes sense to me that bikes should just use all bus lanes unless there's a really good reason, like safety or something. It's just crazy when you're sat in traffic, engine ticking over, just creeping forward, and there's an empty bus lane next to you. So that's a quick overview. I think there's something else I've missed, but hopefully I'll find out when I get up here. I think they're leafleting. Today's an awareness ride. As I've said, it's a busy part of the park up here with quite a lot of security. It's the school holidays as well, so we're just going past London Zoo. On your right, coming up here, I'll slow down, is the giraffe house, and there's the giraffe. Let's have a look. There you go. So you get a lot of cars coming up here in the Easter holidays and summer holidays with people bringing their kids to the zoo. So let's see how it goes. I'm not sure what the turnout's meant to be like, but I thought I'd pop down. I've only got an hour or so. I think the plan is to ride to the mayor's office and deliver a document or petition, something like that. But oh yeah, here we go. Multitude of adventure bikes, retro bikes, sports bikes, scooters, delivery scooters, Harleys, couple of Harleys. Should be fun. Right. Guys, cracking day for it. It's actually a little bit too hot, especially because it's fairly slow progress with all the bikes and everyone's taking it nice and easy, which is good to see. And there's a lot of traffic lights around here, so I'm cooking in this leather jacket. But the turnout is pretty good actually, like more than I was expecting, given that it's lunchtime on a Thursday. There's a little bit of chat before we left just then. Pretty much the stuff I mentioned before, and just a bit of guidance for the ride. Charlie Borman was there as well. I think he's been quite involved. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with it for a little while, see how it goes. Probably won't make it to the end, to be honest, because I've got too much to do today. A few bewildered cabbies along the way. But it's certainly a nice sound. I don't know if you can quite hear it on my microphone, but it's a good combination of Harleys, BMWs and sports bikes. So pretty much hitting every single frequency in the spectrum. I should just mention that if you've missed this ride and you want to get involved in future, then just Google We Ride London. Of course, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. I think the Facebook page is where most of this stuff is announced, so definitely follow them there. But as I said, so far everybody riding pretty sensibly, which is, I guess, what this is all about, is increasing positive perceptions of bikers. One of the things that the organisers ask people to do is to wear their work clothes and open face helmets, so that you kind of see a real person, not just some anonymous biker in full leathers and a blacked out visor. It's a hot day to sit in traffic. Come on. Especially when your radiator isn't really working. Oh, that's a little bit better. Some wind. Alright guys, I gotta get back to work unfortunately, so it was a nice little trip out for lunch. Wish I could join the rest of the ride, but as I say, got a few things to get on with, and the fuel light going on and off as well is probably not ideal. As I mentioned earlier, you can like We Ride London on Facebook, and that's probably where you're best hearing about all the stuff that they're doing. And if you've got any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, then click subscribe.